Okay, we're ready to go.
All right.
So, during the month of October, and again, we're not reading meters this time of year, 7,480,000 gallons produced by the wells during October works out to be 258,000 gallons per day produced by the wells, with a closing customer consumption of 503 gallons per day per service connection. And you can see how the year-to-year comparison, not far off from where it was last year. 2 years ago, just under 7 million gallons is 6,805,000 gallons. And I think really what we're seeing, well, most of the systems that we've been watching in October, we actually had record high usage because it's like summer shifted. It was wet in June, and then you saw the Subal, it was drier in September and October. And because we have so many leaks, it's not making a lot of difference. So most of ours are really related to the system leaks, which we are addressing at this time. But you can look here 3 million years ago, we were at 4.5 million gallons roughly produced by the wells at 4,484,000 3 years ago, and 5 years ago, 5,945,000, almost 6 million gallons. But you can see as you look at when I did it for you, I estimated the percentage at 47% of total production by the wells. I don't usually list it at this time of year unless we have customer meter readings for consumption data, which we were talking about. It's much easier to have an accurate comparison that way. So what Jeff has put together has been very, very helpful, because then we can just add it on our iPads, and I break it down by, I'm not going to break it down by station for the meetings, but the point is it's going to get to it's for our benefits to see what's going on. So are there any questions about production or consumption of the wells? I will mention, depending on how the winter goes, last winter, the Prairie State Park did, I don't know if they maintained, or at least the road was open for well 8. We shut down well 8 in the winter if we cannot have access in there, because we don't know what's going on. And, we do have a backup heater and whatnot in there. Now we have a new heater in there. The old one is the backup. But right now it's still open. So we're continuing to have it run with well 7. So they alternate and have even wear across them. So that's the wintertime issue.
Do you have access?
We do have access.
Do you think they're going to take that away?
If they get too much snow and they don't decide not to plow it, or nobody goes in there, yeah, they have before, and the only way to get in there is snowshoot or cross country ski.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of plowing in the park.
We might want to consider changing things so that we can get in there in the event of an emergency.
I mean, we could hire somebody, but it wouldn't be cheap to plow Locust Grove and Kingland all the way to get there.
Well, I mean, even in an emergency, you get into snowshoes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got snowshoes, and if I had to, I could get in there. It's just not.
It's just that it's good to have an emergency backup, because if the other one goes down, we're done.
Well, we could still get in there. And if we had to, it's a hike.
It's not that far.
Yeah.
That's level, so approach, but not really.
So anyway, one of the things we will have capability of, remember a while back we got new meters as a part of our project for each well house that will report cellular data at midnight. One of the things they report is temperature, so they can alert us if the temperature drops too quick. But that'd be nice when we can get in there. Have that. Anyway, and right now, no question about that. Most of the items are really on the main agenda that we're talking about. Is the skate on the main agenda, Jesse?
It is not. I'm not on this agenda.
Okay. Is Kyle on yet?
They are.
Okay. Kyle, have you had a chance to look at any of the SCADA information yet? What we're trying to do is to divide out what we're doing with Limekiln and Roarmore versus what the district will be paying on its own for the other areas.
We have not got or received any submittals from the contractor on that. So once we start getting submittals, that will enable us to have a little bit more of a detailed conversation, if that answers your question.
Yeah, that helps. So right now, the SCADA system has been holding up. Where we have to mostly watch is when we get thunderstorms and lightning. And I explained this to Jeff and Paul yesterday, especially at Cape Horn State. So that's going to go up again, lower reservoir alarm. I know exactly what it is. If it's not the fire department exercising fire hydrants, it's the lightness, transient voltage surge that got the fuses. So that's always going to be what it is. So we get out there and get that taken care of.
Do we need to talk about the Cape Horn situation during the operator's report?
It's not on the agenda.
Which one are you referring to?
The one we just got.
Oh, that's the one with the tanks. That's on the agenda, isn't it?
No, it was never requested to be on the agenda.
Oh,
so you can talk about it under operator's report.
Okay, I don't know if I don't know if it really needs or requires
It
more
only
action.
just
We'll
came
when
up
we get to the
yesterday,
sewer
but I
report.
didn't have time to do it on-
What's that?
So
What
it
I
only
can
just
do is
came
just
up
simply make
yesterday,
a
so I don't have time to-
point of note here because we have made a determination on that, and I'll just let you know when we get to the sewer side of things. Okay, just for the maintenance side, we did have the service line break on Pier Road, and it was, we thought it was on the customer side, but sometimes you can't always see till you dig it up. It was on both the customer side and our side, and that's the old fishing game building. So we basically had to put a new meter set in, and it was just rotted out. So we got that done. So I just put that under number 2 on the water system items that was done recently there. Okay, on the sewer system production, I've got the usual numbers there for what is the typical average for summer months at 50,000 gallons a day and approximately 17,000 gallons per day during the winter months, and what our production was over 2022 into the winter months there. So you can see if you actually average it out year round, it works out to be 21,000 gallons per day. And of course, the site has been closed down because of the lightning strike, which knocked out our PLC. That's still not in yet. We have had RC worked up there a couple of times replacing an actuator that was for it because they get up there to find out the manufacturer some of the wrong parts or adapter plates or things like that. So whether or not that gets done this season or before we start next season, we'll have to see. It depends on how much snow is up there. Because they say, no, we can't get up there. Okay, and then other maintenance items. Four tanks pumped in the past month, and when I say the past month, it's from the last board meeting. Jesse, looks like we got some of these.
Oh, Pat's in.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I just put in my report, so I'll just make it a point. I've already explained this to Chris on the mysterious septic tank lids. DEQ did find Welch-Comer plans or a sheet that we did not have, showing that apparently those are our tanks, that they had some effluent screens in there, and we simply did not have it anywhere to show it. They just sent it to me today. So we will be getting that taken care of. That's on us. So that's just a point. I don't think it requires a board action there because if it's our equipment, we maintain it. So I simply
We would be able to take out
Chris,
anything in.
know that. So we will get on that. Other notes, again, this is just no action I'm required at this time. Number 4, plan thinning of 80-acre treatment site. The one contractor wanted to get up there, ran out of time, but he's estimating based on my description to him probably $600 per acre to thin it. So that's going to be a hefty bill once we decide to do that. At 80 acres, that's still 48 grand.
We have 80 acres up there?
We got 80 acres up there.
How much does it all need to be cleared?
I'll take you 2 up there in the spring and you'll see what it takes to get.
I've seen part of it.
Yeah. You can watch as maybe my son and I will climb the bushes and get the ticks so that you guys don't have to try to get to these sprinklers and turn things on, close the valves off, things like that. So that's just a point of note. Another one that's kind of working through still, Bob and I have been discussing is the chlorine monitoring system at the treatment site. No decision at this point in time. I did want to mention all of our facilities, both water and sewer, have been winterized. So that's with a long meeting. That's what I've got for now. Any other items are probably on the main agenda.
Back up to item 4 for just a second.
Okay.
We have to make sure that's in compliance with our silvicultural plans.
Yes, I already sent the one individual, one company, the silvicultural plan. He says he's worked with that group that did the plan. He worked with them all the time. So that's good. So, all right. So that's.